This is Scott Sims going over Project 7, streaming live GPS data from a Raspberry Pi attached to my drone. I'm going to go through everything and show you that it's set up and working before I go through the code to show how I'm streaming data from the GPS and from the Raspberry Pi. So the first thing I need to do is actually SSH into my Raspberry Pi attached to the drone and activate everything. So to activate the camera from last project, we'll run the motion server. And then I've also have the daemon for the GPS server already set up. So if we go into our local host, oh sorry, actually for the camera it's on 8080 for the actual IP address of the drone. We can see here's the camera feed for the drone. And actually let's switch directly over to the camera of the drone so we can make it a little bit bigger, I guess. Next, what we want to do is start the Dash App server that I've created to stream the data and actually show the live GPS data. So to do that, I already have a GPS client Python here that's just a Dash App, and we'll go ahead and activate that. And then this will be running on my actual computer, the remote machine, and you can see it'll be localhost 8050. So if we go to localhost 8050, here we can see the actual data. And sorry, I need to make the dashboard a little bit better so things are visible, but you can see over here we're getting lat and long and speed and altitude. I actually am plotting it on a map here, and you can see here I am in Switzerland, in my little town of Horgen, which is actually just south of Zurich where I work. But yeah, so we're getting my exact location on the graph here. And then down here, I'm plotting the speed and the altitudes along with the heading here. Also, I'm also showing how many of the satellites are being used for the fix right now. So right now, for pinpointing my location, using 8 satellites here. So now that we see that all this is running and going, let's actually fly the drone a little bit to see the changes in our altitude and everything here, just to make sure that that's working properly. Okay, so we've had a drone flight there, and hopefully you saw that the values were changing as I was flying. Yeah, so let's kind of go through the code and show how that I'm streaming this data. So, like I said, it's just a Python Dash app that uses Plotly underneath the hood, and I'm just simply connecting to the drone here, and I am just using the well, WebSockets to connect to it actually. And here is my method for just connecting to the GPS server that's running on my Raspberry Pi. So I'm just connecting as a WebSocket to the IP address on the Pi and the port, which the GPSD server is on port 2947 here. And yeah, basically, I'm sending a watch command to start receiving data across WebSocket, and then have a forever loop here that's just constantly receiving the chunks of data coming across the WebSocket, and then processing the data. So I have this method here processing GPS report data. So if we go to here, you can see I have these two globals here, a data store and a data lock. Data lock here is, again, just synchronization to make sure that I don't have any race conditions as data is processing in real time. There's no telling when this process GPS report will constantly be triggered. It might be that another instance is already processing the report, so we want to synchronize on the data since we have shared data. the GPS server sends across two reports in JSON. It sends across a TPV and a sky report. The TPV actually has the raw values, while the sky report has all the information on the satellites. So basically, depending on which type of report that we're processing at the time, we're going to handle that and extract out all the data. So we're just getting out the latitude, the longitude, the altitude, mean sea level, the speed track, and then yeah, if the data report that's being sent is a sky, we just get all, how many satellites we're actually using to triangulate where our drone is right now. And we compile all those into a pandas data frame, and that's the shared global data that we use, such that now in our actual Dash app, we're using multiple threads to process and render at the same time. We just have different app components for everything. So we have a component for the top level metrics that you saw, the latitude, longitude, height, and things like that. The middle level component for the map showing where we are, and then the satellites and compass at the bottom here. And then yeah, it's just configuring up all the callbacks to actually run, and then more or less just more setting up the callbacks here. It's all the data then being rendered to the actual graphs that we set up, the components that we set up. And then at the end down here, finally, it's just running the actual application. And that's what is rendering the data to our graph here up at the top. So yeah, this was Project 7, streaming live GPS data from Raspberry Pi. Thank you.